Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. So I may not be quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes, because I'm going to want to research it. I'm going to want to study it. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes, I confess.
Yes, I don't believe if this town hall was to persuade people to change their minds, has actually done that. According to this tweet, CNN Danny Bash just said that people she's talking to are saying if Kamala Go was to close the deal tonight, they are not sure she did that. That was a CNN town hall too. They are not okay. They kind of respond, they thought she would be able to defend herself. All the questions will be answered. She has been carrying out interview recently, so they believe at this time she could do better. You saw the first clip. Just imagine. I need to do research. I don't need to answer all kind of questions.
Considering you have been in the position of vice president for the past 4 years under the Biden administration, how can we expect you to deviate from the direction of that administration compared to your own? How can we differentiate your policy and your beliefs from that of Biden's?
That's a great question, and thank you. Well, first of all, my administration will not be a continuation of the Biden administration. I bring to this role my own ideas and my own experience. I represent a new generation of leadership on a number of issues and believe that we have to actually take new approaches. For example, what we talked about in terms of housing. My experience that leads to that priority includes what I did to take on the big banks around the foreclosure crisis when I brought billions of dollars to homeowners that were the subject of predatory lending. I know what homeownership means to the American people, not to mention what it meant to my mother, who worked very hard and saved up so that by the time I was a teenager, she was able to buy our first home. I bring to it my experience actually taking care of my mother when she was sick, and it was, as it turned out, dying from cancer. And so I know what it means and have the experience of taking care of an elderly relative, and I have raised children. And so I bring to my priorities and will, as president, a new approach and a new idea, frankly, about what we need to do to deal with the sandwich generation.
Well, I'll just tell you what I'm hearing from people who I have been talking to, and that is that if her goal was to close the deal, they're not sure she did that. And, some people have asked, is she being held to a different standard? Maybe, but that's maybe the world that she's living in. And on the question of who she is, people are understanding that a little bit more. But what she will do, the question about her legislative priorities, name one, there wasn't one. Some more of her personality and her sort of character questions about your weaknesses or what mistakes did you make? Not necessarily the answers there.
Yes, Kamala is having a problem answering this question, how she will be different from Biden. I don't understand. This has surfaced online several times. Since the day she appeared on The View, had an interview, this same question went viral because she could not answer that question. I believe by now she could have, adjust herself to have a good response that can please people. It therefore means, from her indication, her administration will just be the same thing like what they are witnessing now. They are not seeing the difference. She's not putting out there. She's not convincing people to see the difference. I don't get the point. I thought maybe that was a mistake. I know sometimes, when answering questions, you can make a mistake, but along the way, you will correct yourself.
Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. So remember, Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw is about 2%. And then when it came time for him to do a photo op, you know where he did it? In the part of the wall that President Obama built.
But you agreed to a bill that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border. Yes, I am. And I'm going to work across the aisle to pass a comprehensive bill that deals with a broken immigration system. I think Jackson's question, part of it was to acknowledge that America has always had migration, but there needs to be a legal process for it. People have to earn it. And that's the point that I think is the most important point that can be made, which is we need a president who is grounded in common sense and practical outcomes. Like, let's just fix this thing. Let's just fix it. Why is there any ideological perspective on it? Let's just fix the problem.
To fix the problem, you're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I am not afraid of good ideas where they occur.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense because he actually didn't do much of anything. I just talked about that wall, right? We just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
Yes, I actually agree with CNN the way they tackle this question, and she messed it up. She's agreeing with us that she will still continue with the same policies Trump put forward, but twisting it like, oh, I will do something to strengthen the border. Will you continue with the? That's a question she's not answering. She cannot say yes or no. Then struggling to still, go after Trump after she insulted that border wall. Like, that is stupid. That Trump should not be able to do that. So you will understand that flip-flopping should not really be into this. She has been there for almost 4 years. She did nothing, allowed people to continue to enter throughout to a certain level. Now is reaching this. She now want to do something. I always say this on most of my videos. If you are unable to do something within your first 2, 3 years, I don't believe you will do it after 8 years. That is just how I believe. So whatever thing you are struggling to tell me, it is just like convincing me, which I will never accept. So whatever thing she's saying here, that is a problem.
Probably will shock Kamala Harris and the rest of her campaign staff to learn that there are incumbent Democrat U.S. senators in this country right now running television ads touting all their work with this modern-day Hitler. I wonder if Kamala Harris tonight in our town hall meeting will call for them to take these ads off the air, touting their work with this Hitler. I mean, if he were really Hitler, if he were really a threat to democracy, not a single Democrat in this country would be running ads touting their work with Donald Trump. Now,
He's right. Like the other day, I saw Chuck Schumer sitting with Trump, and some Democrat got angry. Like, if you really say Trump is a threat to democracy, why is Chuck Schumer sitting beside him? So when I saw it, I was like, these people just want to stir up, just to create this mindset. People should be scared. I believe after this elect, all this will be over. We'll not be hearing these stories again.
You do right now.
It would be so un-American if he were to come after people who are speaking out against him.
Because she don't have the experience.
You look at critically, you realize this woman is slowly dying off. She can't even believe, this host, that this is happening.
She's very close to Trump. She's 30.
A financial Republican.
Do you ever have a Jewish girlfriend?
Understand that there has never been a single day that this man can change.
Hang on, Tim Walz?
Look at what Democrats are experiencing.
And sometimes there's a trend line that I never noticed before and make me go, whoa.
Whoopi, you always say you don't believe in polls.
And what exactly, please? I want you to know. Drop under the comment section.
Trump's running mate. Same reason you don't throw a birthday party for Diddy.
Hey, you're calling yourself...
Well, this is a problem.
Homes Enterprise.